Just like the dead fish on the log behind me, this game was not the prettiest, but the scorebook won't care. The Portland Timbers earned 3 points and now own the all-time MLS series against the Seattle Sounders. In a game that featured hesitancy in attack, it was Brandon Bye pulling the trigger from outside of the box for his first ever Timbers goal.
Into DaCosta.
Look at the touches, so clean.
Still now to Brandon Bye. Bye will try! First goal in Portland puts the Timbers up over their rivals late. It's 2-1.
Talking to DaCosta after, and it's like, hey, I'm open in that little hole there, and he does a great job with attracting players, and everybody's watching him because he's such a talented player. So he dragged some players over, and I was in a good spot. Yeah, I mean, I think I hit one like that in warm-ups. We were joking about it, but yeah, I was ready for it, and it came off right.
Well, I've heard I won't have to buy a drink anymore. That's the rumour. So if anyone sees me, I like a 0% Heineken, and my wife's a red wine. So just make sure everyone knows that for when they see me out. But no, it's been an amazing time. The players have given everything, and we said at the start of the after the break on the first day about how do we create a higher bar for the next incoming head coach, and the lads have put themselves right back in the mix. The season is bang on now, because we were a little bit more adrift than we wanted to at the break. So it's just credit to their hard work. It's been a pleasure.
Beyond Brandon Bye's goal, I'll remember the 126th all-time meeting between Portland and Seattle as Jack Cassidy's curtain call as the interim coach for the Timbers. He may still be on the touchline on Thursday against Puebla, but this was certainly a worthy farewell for Cassidy. 3 wins and a single draw sees the Timbers collect 71% of the points in 4 games that they did in their opening 14. He kept the message simple, called himself boring over and over again, but what a simple message does is that it is easy to receive.
He keeps it simple. He wants us to do, 6, 7 things. The duels, the aerial duels, the clearances, all these things that he really keeps it simple. And guys really bought into that. It was great to see. Early on, guys were buying into it. We went to San Diego for a friendly match. Guys bought into it there, and then 4 games in a row, guys are buying in. So it's amazing. And then that gets guys in the right position to show their quality. You see Velda, you see Kevin, you see DaCosta, Cole, everybody. Ari and Anthony. These guys are great players in great spots, and that structure we're in now, it really keeps them in attacking spots where they can go. So. No, he's been great so far. Maybe we get him for another game, but I think the coach is coming eventually. But yeah, he's been great. It's been great.
What have I learned from it? To be honest, it's confirmed a few things for me because, as I said, I've been an assistant for many years at first team level, but not a head coach. But I always believed I could do it, and I think I've shown in these games that I can. So it's just made me even more hungry for my own career. But I'm very good at just doing the same things every day. I've told you I'm quite boring before in a previous presser. But the moment I go back to the second team, I'll just switch back into making them the best team I can with Russo. I'm just good at just getting back on it and making sure that I go back to doing the job the best I can for what I was originally employed to do.
I'll also remember this game for the atmosphere. This could be the final Portland versus Seattle match at Providence Park until 2028. They only play once in the sprint season, and then the 27-28 campaign is on either side of the calendar year. But overall, the atmosphere tonight was incredible. Providence Park is louder before and after a game than most stadiums are during it. Timbers Army introduced TIFO innovation that I didn't know was even possible. The TIFO was incredible beforehand, and then when it sort of withered away, it was even cooler.
We're taking this loss pretty poorly, because the stupid TIFO that the Portland Timbers have had, I don't know what, I have no idea what they're doing. The whole gut the fish thing, they can laugh, they can have their moment. I can't sit here and say they didn't beat us 5-1 up in Seattle, and they didn't win this game 2-1, but what comes around goes around. So they can enjoy this moment, but panic stations, no, not even close. If you asked me if I was pissed off, I'd tell you yes.
The noise when Brandon's goal hit the back of the net I had a perfect view. I was just sat in my seat at the time and I just see it whistle in the bottom corner. So, yeah, amazing moment, amazing noise. It's a European atmosphere, you know. It is. I don't mean that disrespectfully to all the crowds in the US, but I think like it's a special atmosphere here. It's different. It's different to any other stadium, and we could hear it even before the lads came out to warm up. So yeah, no, I will remember that moment for a long time.
It's crazy when you walk out for warm-ups. They're already here, and they're already so loud and chanting and screaming your name and pushing you forward. Late in games when you're tired and your legs are gone, they're pushing you. And it's amazing, man. It's something really special. They're after the game, you know, like last game with Pipe and this game, you know, with us in the logs and you know, cheering us on, and nobody wants to leave. It's unbelievable, so it's great.
This was not the Harlem Globetrotters display that we saw in the 5-1 win on July 16th at Lumen Field. Seattle defended well for having quite literally half a dozen of their usual starters out in this game. I talked to a staffer from Seattle. Their staff bus literally had their tire pop on the way here, and then Paul Arriola got hurt 5 minutes into this game. That's the luck they've been having, but no tears will be shed by the 25,000 here in attendance that saw Seattle lose 6 games in a row for the first time in their MLS history. But back to Portland, who on attack had too much hesitancy. There was chances that should have been goals. I felt like Portland in transition showed some of those woes from earlier in the season where they were trying to pass it into the net. Instead of having some oomph and danger in attack of taking the shot, it was fitting that they eventually scored the goal on an outside from the box shot, but this was not the most clinical game despite having 31 touches in the opposition box.
Probably wasn't our tidiest performance out the 4 games. I just thought we had a few sloppy ball losses. The game went a little bit like a lot of MLS games do, the transition game. And I don't like that kind of game. Those games worry me a little bit. But we've ended up coming out on top, and it was a great strike. So yeah, worthy to win any game with a strike like that.
What can you say about Diego Chara, the man who has played in 31% of the all-time meetings going back to 1975 between Portland and Seattle, just played a hell of a 90 minutes in his 39th game against Seattle. The Timbers enter the World Cup break 13th. They leave it heading into Leagues Cup in 8th in the postseason position. Doing that in 4 games is a massive applause to Jack Cassidy and this Timbers squad. If the atmosphere today didn't tell you, the Portland Timbers are certainly revitalized on the pitch and off of it. Thanks for watching the post-game report. I'm Adam Sussman. I'll talk to you before the game on Thursday, and be sure to check out the Timber Review podcast for a full-length breakdown of everything that happened in a very fun 2-1 win over the Seattle Sounders. Talk to you soon.